Hello, welcome to MTG Pro Tutor. I'm Sean Penrod, your host, and today we're going to open this Cons of Tarkir booster pack and evaluate the cards inside. Let's dive right in and see what we get. Remember, when drafting, you want to stay open for as long as possible. That means picking the best card regardless of color, and then honing in on your colors after you've kind of seen what your options are. So I take out the marketing card first, which is a warrior token in this case. I look at the land. And then I always check out the rare. Alright, Blood-Soaked Champion. What does this guy do? He is a 2/1 for 1. Okay, interesting. He cannot block. And he has Raid 2. So let's see. Return Blood-Soaked Champion from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only if you attacked with a creature this turn. Alright, so you play him on turn 1. And he can't block, but on turn 2 you attack, on turn 3 you attack again, maybe he dies, and then on future turns, if you have attacked, you can pay 2 mana and bring him back. So I like that. That is pretty good. He is a warrior, so that's nice because there is a warrior theme in Cons of Tarkir, especially in black-white. You can definitely go a black-white warrior, especially if you get the Captain of the Edge and Captain of the Scale. So I kind of like this guy. You know, it's creatures are the backbone of a limited deck, and having a creature that can come back over and over and over and over again is really nice. Now he does get less relevant the later on in the game you go, and because you know when their big 4/5 is out, bringing back your 2/1 is not going to be super relevant. But in the early game, it'll definitely be nice to have Blood-Soaked Champion. So let's see what else we have. I do kind of like him. I feel okay about picking him, but let's see what else we can do. Whirlwind Adept is a 4/2 hexproof prowess for 5 mana. It's a bit expensive, but it does trigger your Ferocious, so if you're looking into Teamer, this is not bad to have, and it does have prowess, so obviously it's meant to be a Jeskai card, but it can go in other places as well. Hexproof is nice because that means your opponent will have to block it to deal with it, so Hexproof is useful because it eliminates it narrows down the possible ways that your opponent can kill or interact with this creature. So you know that if you have some kind of combat trick or things like that, that you can keep this creature on the board a little longer. So it's not terrible, but let's see what else we have. Mardu Warshrieker, pretty good, is a 3/3 for 4 mana, and if you attacked this turn, when it comes into play, you get 3 mana. So that's nice. That's very nice. You can cast the Mardu Charm off of that mana or something, so that's really nice. Defiant Strike, interesting, gives you +1/+0, and you draw a card for 1 mana. It's instant. I don't really see a strong use in Limited for this, although this has made it into an aggressive red-white heroic deck in Standard, so that's kind of nice. Crippling Chill is basically the instant version of Frost Links. For 3 mana, you tap a creature, it does not untap during your opponent's next untap step, and you draw a card. So I like having that. I like Woolly Loxodon a lot. You play it as a morph creature, so it's 2/2 on turn 3, and then for 6 mana you turn it face up, and boom, you have a big fat 6/7 elephant. Also a warrior, so that's nice. Here's another warrior. Krumar Bondkin is a morph creature that flips up for 5 mana, and it's a 5/3, so just a vanilla morph, flips up, ends up being a 5/3. It can gobble up smaller morphs. Abzan Guide, a 4/4 lifelink. It does have morph. This is a very good card. Tusked Loxodon for 6 mana. That's a 6/5 for 6 mana. Very vanilla. I would definitely prefer the Woolly Loxodon over the Tusked Colossadon, just because you get more toughness on the Loxodon and more versatility. You can play this on turn 3, face down, And then for 6 mana, you get a 6/7, which is the same price as this guy, which is only a 6/5. So definitely not taking the Tusk Colossedon over a Woolly Loxodon. Tranquil Cove is white-blue, which is an allied color pair. That means that they are next to each other on the color wheel. And allied color pairs only support one clan. In this case, Jeskai. So if you are in Jeskai, then go ahead and if you're in Jeskai, you're going to value this card more than somebody else. If you're splashing one of these two colors, then yes, you might want to grab these as well. I like taking these lands around the 3rd, 4th, 5th pick, somewhere in there, depending on what else the packs have. Shambling Attendants, better if you're in Sultai. If you are really going Sultai, you want as many Delve cards as you can, and you want as many graveyard fillers as you can, because you don't want to be milling yourself, put all your Delve cards into the graveyard, and now you can't. Now all you do is mill yourself and get rid of your bombs, right? So you definitely want to have a lot of Delve cards, and you want a lot of ways to utilize the cards in your graveyard, because that's just how it works with Sultai. Arc Lightning for 3 mana. It deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. So you can do 1/1/1, 1/2, 3. You pick. So ideally, you kill a morph and maybe a cheap 1-drop, or kill a morph and do 1 damage to them. So it's pretty versatile. It's not bad to have. It does cost 3, but it does give you options. Roar of Challenge for 3 mana. It's a sorcery that all creatures able to block target creature this turn do so. And ferocious, that creature gains indestructible until end of turn if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. So that's pretty good. This can be a game finisher for you, especially, it only costs 3 mana. You play it on, pretty much anything, right? And then all your other creatures get through because they have to block. Do keep in mind that if they play an instant or something that destroys your creature before they have to declare blockers, then you're kind of out of luck. So keep that in mind when you cast this. Do it ideally when they're tapped out and don't really have any other tricks up their sleeve. But even if you don't have ferocious, you can play this on some little dude. Everybody blocks the little dude and all your other stuff gets through. Or maybe you can play it on something like Woolly Loxodon, which then will be indestructible, or maybe you can play it on Shambling Attendants because it has Death Touch, and then you can deal 1, 2, 3 damage to their 3 biggest things. So definitely a very versatile card. I think it has potential as a game winner. And we have Ice Feather Aven, which is a 2/2 flying for 2 mana, so that's good. It does have Morph, and when Ice Feather Aven is turned face up, you may return another target creature to its owner's hand. Holy smokes. So that's really nice, and the picture is pretty sweet too. So I like that. It's a bird shaman. So, Simic colors. My only complaint, I guess, with taking this first is that it's a gold card, and we don't know if we're going to end up in gold, or in either one of these colors. I really like taking monocolored cards first, because it leaves you more open, unless it's really strong. And while this card is good, I don't know if it's strong enough to go into those 2 colors right off the bat, but I really do like that. That's pretty sweet. You can play it as a morph, and then you can turn it face up to return a creature to their owner's hand, and then you have a flyer, or you can just play a 2/2 flyer on turn 2. So that's nice. So I like taking creatures first, although Roar of Challenge is really good. I think the best cards in this pack are I like the Blood-Soaked Champion, I like Ice Feather Aven, I like Roar of Challenge, and I always like the land. And I like the Loxodon. He's just really solid. But since that's a common and the land is common, I think I'm going to be focusing my first pick either on Blood-Soaked Champion, Ice Feather Aven, or Roar of Challenge. Again, I prefer monocolored cards and I prefer creatures. So by that criteria, we would go with Blood-Soaked Champion. but taking the Ice Feather Aven, might not be bad. So I'm going to lay down the hammer. I'm going to stick with monocolored creature for my first pick. That'll be a Blood-Soaked Champion, and we'll see what else, we'll see what gets passed to us. Thanks so much for watching this video. You're awesome for taking the time to do so. I'm Sean Penrod. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next pack.